Greetings! Mantroid79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days! Alrighty, let's get started. Pressing the A button now. Loading game, and proceeding. Here we are on the main menu, going to edit deck menu. Here we are, and now on today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a Brandt Cardinal Deus Orfist D-BT03. And so I'll be using this D-BT02 Cardinal Deus Orfist deck for the base of the deck I'm going to build. Alright, let's begin. So, going to edit deck and entering edit deck. Here we are. And now, like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building in today's deck profile video is a Brandt Cardinal Deus Orfist deck made up of cards only available up until D-BT03. So, first up, let's go to Filter Settings, Pack, only show cards from D-BT01, Genesis of the 5 Greats, D-BT02, A Brush of the Legends, D-BT03, Advance of the Intertwined Stars, and Festival Collection 2021. And now apply filter. Alright, so let's begin with the Grade 3 lineup. For the Grade 3s in this deck, we're playing right deck, Grade 3, Cardinal Deus Orfist. Skills are, first skill, continuous as a Vanguard rear guard during your turn. If your world is Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. And second skill, action as a Vanguard. If your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, Counterblast 2. If the cost has been paid, call up to 3 Shadow Army tokens to rearguard circle. Your world changes when you play a specific order. Shadow Army has 15,000 power and boost. So for Orfist, he's the main Grade 3 to run this deck. It's for a skill. As long as you've got either Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight active, your Vanguard or rearguard Orfist will get plus 5,000 power. So for this first skill, it'll make your Orfist a 18,000 point attacker for your front row. And the second skill, as long as you've got Abyssal Dark Knight active, as long as you don't mind paying the cost of Counterblast 2, you'll be able to superior call up to 3 Shadow Army tokens to your rear guard, each with a total of 15,000 power and the ability to boost in the back row, giving you a potential 15,000 point attacker for the front row, 15,000 power booster from the back row, and also a 30,000 power total in one column. So for Orfist, we got 4 on the deck, 1 on the right deck, keeping it that way. Next up, the Grade 3 set order, world in the darkness nobody knows. Let's see. Not gonna place it anymore, taking it out and replacing it with the Grade 3 set order, world, overcoming an eternity. Skills are, first skill, order, play of a Soul Blast of 2. Second skill, continuous. From the order zone, if your order zone only has world cards, the following effects are active according to the number of cards in your order zone. 1 card, your world becomes Dark Knight. 2 or more cards, your world becomes Abyssal Dark Knight. And third skill, auto from the order zone. When your Shadow Army token is placed, that placed unit gets plus 5,000 power. So for overcoming an eternity, it's one of the order cards meant to be played with the Orfist deck. Its second skill, for the more order cards you have in your order zone, you'll be able to activate either Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, which are conditions you need to play for Cardinal Deus Orfist's skills. And then the third skill, just by placing a Shadow Army token on the field for that turn, it gets plus 5,000 power. So once again, this third skill is a good combo for the skill of Cardinal Deus Orfist. Just by calling a Shadow Army, it'll get plus 5,000 power, making it a 20,000 point attacker for the front row, 20,000 point booster for the back row, or any more power-ups you wish to add on by depending on how you call your tokens. So for overcoming an eternity, we're playing 2, okay? And now for the Grade 2 lineup. For the Grade 2s this deck, we're playing right deck, Grade 2, Cardinal Deus Cubizia. Its skill is, first skill, auto, it's a Vanguard. When a world is put into your order zone, choose one of your units, it gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. Second skill, continuous as a rear guard. If your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. So for Cubizia, he's the main Grade 2 to run his deck. The first skill, just by placing a world card to your order zone, you'll be able to give any unit in your field, your Vanguard or rear guard plus 5,000 power. So for this first skill, it's a good way to increase the number of attacks we can make early on by adding a little power up. And the second skill, as a rear guard, as long as Abyssal Dark Knight is active, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. So for the second skill, as long as you've got Abyssal Dark Knight active, Cubizia can serve as a 15,000 point attacker for your front row. Okay, next up, the Grade 2, Set Order, World, Hollowing Moonlit Night. Skills, first skill, Order, play with a Soul Blast of 1. Second skill, Auto. When this card is put in the Order Zone, draw a card. Third skill, Continuous, Order Zone. If your Order Zone only has a World card, the following effects are active according to the number of cards in your Order Zone. 1 card, your world becomes Dark Knight. 2 or more cards, your world becomes Abyssal Dark Knight. So for Hollowing Moonlit Night, it's another set order meant to be played with the, the Orfist deck. Its skills, the second skill, just by placing in the Order Zone, you get to draw a card. So this second skill is a good way to restock your hand. And the third skill, the more order cards you have in your Order Zone, you get to activate Dark Knight and or Abyssal Dark Knight, which works well with Orfist's skills. So for Hollowing Moonlit Night, we got 4, taking 1 out, we're playing 3. Okay, next up, the Grade 2, Cardinal Draco Alvader. Skills, first skill, continuous as a rear guard. During your turn, if your world is Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 2,000 power, and if it is an Abyssal Dark Knight instead, it gets plus 5,000 power. Second skill, Auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked, retire a Shadow Army token, eat the cost and paid, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. So for Alvader, it's a support card for the Orfist deck. The first skill, depending on if you have Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight active, you'll be able to give some extra power to Alvader, making him a potential 12,000 point attacker to 15,000 point attacker for your front row. And the second skill, just after attacking, regardless of hits or not, as long as you don't mind giving up a Shadow Army token in your rear guard, you can retire an opponent's rear guard. So this second skill is a good way to clear your opponent's field of attackers, interceptors, or any skills they plan to use against you later on. So for Alvader, we've got 4 in the deck, keeping it that way. And next up, the Grade 2, Cardinal Fang Estret. We're not going to play this card anymore, so taking it out. And next up, the Grade 2, Eclipsed Moonlight, Set Order, World. Its skills are, first skill, Order, plays with a counterblast of 1, second skill, Auto. When this card is put into your Order Zone, call a Shadow Army token to your rear guard. Shadow Army token is 15,000 power and boost. Third skill, Continuous from the Order Zone. If your Order Zone only has World cards, the following effects are active according to the number of cards in your Order Zone. 1 card, your world becomes Dark Knight. 2 or more cards, your world becomes Abyssal Dark Knight. So Eclipse Moonlight is another one of the order cards meant to be played with your Orfist deck. Its skills, the second skill, just by placing it in the Order Zone, you can call a Shadow Army token to your rear guard. So the second skill is a good way to get an early start on having Shadow Army tokens in your rear guard, which are one of the main cards to play in your Orfist deck. And the third skill, just by having 1 or more order cards in your Order Zone, you'll be able to activate Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, which you need to activate Orfist and support card skills. So for Eclipse Moonlight, we got 2 in the deck, keeping it that way. Next up, we're adding in, let's see, the Grade 2, Cardinal Draco Deus. Skills, first skill, continuous as a rear guard. If your world is Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 2,000 power. If it is Abyssal Dark Knight instead of Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. Active when opponent's turns 2. And second skill, Auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked, retire 3 Shadow Army tokens and stand this unit. So for Deus, it's another support card for the Orfist deck. Its first skill, just by having Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight active, you can turn Deus into either a 12,000 point attacker or 15,000 point attacker on the front row, depending on which knight you have activated. And the best part is, this first skill is active on the opponent's turn 2, so it's a good way to protect Deus from being attacked by your opponent's rear guard or Vanguard attacks, thus securing you a powerful rear guard on your front row with Deus. And the second skill, as after attacking, regardless of hits or not, as long as you don't mind giving up 3 Shadow Army tokens in your rear guard, you can restand Deus. So for the second skill, it's a good way to add another attack to pressure your opponent with, or potentially finish them off, as long as you don't mind giving up the hefty cost of 3 Shadow Army tokens in your rear guard. So for Deus, we're playing 3 in the deck, okay? And now for the Grade 1 lineup. For the Grade 1s in this deck, we're playing Ride deck, Grade 1, Cardinal Deus. Its skills are, first skill, Auto. When this unit is placed in the Vanguard circle, search your deck for up to 1 world card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Second skill, Continuous as a rear guard. During the battle, this unit attacked or boosted. If your world is Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 2000 power. So for Rudis, he's the main great one to ride his deck. Its first skill, just by riding it onto the Vanguard circle, you'll be able to search your deck for any world card and add it to your hand. So for this first skill, it's a good way to get an early start to setting up your order zone for the world cards to activate Dark Knight, Abyssal Dark Knight, and to activate the skills of Orfist and his other support cards. And the second skill, as long as Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight is active, Rudis can serve as a 10,000 point attacker for the front row or a 10,000 point booster from the back row. So for Rudis, we got 1 in the deck, in the right deck, keeping it that way. Next up, the Great One, Detonation Monster, Bubble Mine, skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If your order zone has a set order, cost, put this unit into your soul and countercharge 1. So for Bubble Mine, it's a pretty powerful support card for any Brandt Nation deck in any build really. Just by boosting an attack, and after the boosting, if you have a card in your order zone, you'll be able to move Bubble Mine to your soul and countercharge 1. So Bubble Mine is a good way to not only restock your soul with more soul blasts, but to also refund your counter blast for more skills later on. So for Bubble Mine, we got 4 in the deck, taking 1 out, we're playing 3. Next up, the Great One, Violate Dragon, Sentinel, Perfect Guard. Skills are, first skill, Continuous, Sentinel, second skill, Auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units. It cannot be hit until the end of battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand, discard it. So for Violate Dragon, it's one of the perfect guards for the Brandt Nation deck. And like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with and discarding a card from your hand, you can completely block 1 enemy attack. But he also features an ability unique to all D standard format perfect guards. When used to guard with, while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Violate Dragon a no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. So for Violate Dragon, we got 4 in the deck, keeping it that way. And now the Great One, Cardinal Tamburino, skill, auto as a rear guard. When this unit boosts a Shadow Army token, you may have this unit get plus 15,000 power until end of turn. If you do, until end of battle, retire all of your rear guards in the same column of this unit and draw a card. So for Tamburino, she's another support card for your Orfist deck. Just by boosting an attack from a Shadow Army token, she gets plus 15,000 power, making her a 23,000 point booster from the back row. And then at the end of battle, you can choose to activate the power up skill. You have to retire all of your rear guards on the same column. That includes Tamburino and the Shadow Army she boosted, and draw a card. So for Tamburino, she's a good card to add to increase the attack power of a Shadow Army token on your field. And then, as long as you don't mind giving up Tamburino and the Shadow Army token, she'll let you draw a card, thus allowing you to restock your hand for more defensive or next turn purposes. So for Tamburino, we got 4 in the deck, keeping it that way. And next up, let's see what to play. Let's see, the Great One, Cardinal Fang, Rayozia, skills, for skill, auto. When this unit is placed in the rearguard circle, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 world card from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, put the rest onto the bottom of your deck in any order. Second skill, action as a rear guard. If your Vanguard is Cardinal Deus Orfist, Soul Blast 1 to retire this unit. If the cost isn't paid, you can call a Shadow Army token to your rear guard. So for Rayozia, it's another support card for the Orfist deck. Its first skill, just by calling Rayozia to the rear guard, you can check the top 3 cards of your deck for a world order and add it to your hand. So for this first skill, it's a good way to restock your hand of set orders to play into your order zone, to activate either Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, or to use the additional skills of each specific order world card. And the second skill, as long as you've got Orfist in the Vanguard, as long as you don't mind paying a Soul Blast and retiring Rayozia from your rear guard, you can call a Shadow Army token to your rear guard, thus securing you a potential 15,000 point attacker or 15,000 point booster from the back row. So for Rayozia, we are playing 2 in the deck, okay? And now, next up, the Great Zero lineup. For the Great Zero to this deck, we're playing right deck, Great Zero, Cardinal Fang, Phoebe. Skills are, first skill, the main skill. Auto, when this unit is ready to pawn, if you went second, draw a card. So for Phoebe, he's the starting unit of this deck. Just by riding on top of him, if you went second, you get to draw a card. You got one in the right deck, keeping it that way. And now, for the trigger lineup, for the triggers of this deck, we're playing the Grade 0, Cardinal Draco Barbazonde, critical trigger. We're playing 4. And then the Grade 0, Aurora Battle Princess, Laura's Yellow. We're taking her out, replacing her with the Grade 0, Patrol Robo, Decker Cup, critical trigger, skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, sorry about that. There we go. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul, choose one of your units, it gets plus 2000 power until end of turn. So for Decker Cup, is a pretty powerful critical trigger to play in your Brandt Nation deck. Just by boosting an attack, regardless of hits or not, as long as you don't mind giving up Decker Cup from your rear guard and putting it to the soul, you can choose one unit in your field, either your Vanguard or rear guard, give it plus 2000 power. So for Decker Cup, it's a good way to not only restock your soul, but to give your remaining attackers a little extra power to work with. So for Decker Cup, we're playing 4 in the deck, okay? Next up, the Grade 3, Cardinal Draco and Pyro, front trigger, skill, continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5000 shield. So for Pyro is a powerful front trigger to play in your Brandt Nation deck. Its skill, just by guarding of it while your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, and Pyro gets plus 5000 shield, making Pyro a 20,000 point shield all on his own. So for Pyro, we're playing 3 in the deck, keeping it that way. And next up, the Grade 0, Cardinal Prima, Nabalem, heal trigger. We're playing 4 in the deck, keeping it that way. And finally, the Grade 0, Star Dragon, Deity of Infinitude, Elder Breath, over trigger, skill, trigger, additional effect. Double the power and critical of all of your front row units until end of turn. Increase to double its power and critical when activated. So for Elder Breath, he's the over trigger for the Brandt Nation. Like any other over trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card, but he also features an ability unique to him. When revealed during a drive check on your turn, you can double the power of all front row units, as well as doubling the critical of all front row units. That includes both your Vanguard and rear guard. So for Elder Breath, it's a good over trigger to not only pressure your opponent, but to potentially finish them off with the increased power and critical Elder Breath gives you. Okay, so for Elder Breath, we got 1 in the deck, keeping it that way. Alright, the deck has been built, Cardfight explained, so let's save the deck. Override deck being built, yes. Alright, so the deck has been built, Cardfight explained. For the cards of this deck, we're playing 4, Grade 3, Cardinal Deus Orfist. 2, Grade 3, Overcoming an Eternity. 1, Cardinal Noid Cubizia, Grade 2. 3, Grade 2, Hollowing Mullet Knight. 4, Grade 2, Cardinal Draco Albaderd. 2, Grade 2, Eclipse Moonlight. 3, Grade 2, Cardinal Draco Destajade. 3, Grade 1, Detonation Monster Bubble Mine. 4, Grade 1, Violet Dragon. 1, Grade 1, Cardinal Noid Rutus. 4, Grade 1, Cardinal Noid Thumbarino. 2, Grade 1, Cardinal Fang Rayozia. And then 1, Grade 0, Cardinal Fang Phoebe starting unit. And now for the triggers of this deck, we're playing 8 critical triggers, 3 front triggers, 4 heal triggers, and last but not least, 1 over trigger, Elder Breath. Alright, deck built, card effects explained. Now let's get on to testing out the deck. So leaving the edit deck menu, returning to main menu, going to fight menu, to CPU fight. Now selecting the deck I just built, the Brandt Cardinal Deus Orfist deck, D-BT03. There we go. And now it's time to choose an opponent. For the opponent, I'm going to test this deck out on. I guess I'm going to use it against. Let's see. Masanori Iseki, normal difficulty. Alright, the battle begins. Let's get started. Alright, now we're deciding who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors, rock, I lose, going second. Okay. So, drawing our starting hands. Okay, I got a heal trigger, a bubble mine, a Rayozia, a Hollowing Moonlit Knight, and Nabulum. Okay, I'm gonna return 2 heal triggers back, holding on to Bubble Mine for counter charging, holding on to Rayozia to potentially use its skills, and the set order, redrawing. I got set order, Eclipse Moonlight and Decker Cop, not bad. Alright, my opponent's turn, he rides the Great One, Rancor Chain, skill of Rancor Chain, he Soul Blast, draws 2 cards, and discards an order card. Okay, my turn, I draw. I'm going to ride for my right deck, Cardinal Deus, Rutus. Let's see, for the right deck cost, I guess I should hold on to Bubble Mine and Rayozia, and I should hold on to Decker Cup and Nabulum to guard with, so I guess I should discard one of these 2 set orders. Let's see. I got 3 Moonlit Knights in the deck, one in my, and now one has been drawn in my hand. Okay, and I got only 2 Eclipse Moonlight, so I'm gonna discard Hollowing Moonlit Knight and ride Rudis, skill of Phoebe. I draw a card, draw, and Rudis' skill. Search my deck for a set order, add to hand. I'm adding, let's see, the Great 2 set order, Hollowing Moonlit Knight, add to hand. There we go. Next up, I'm gonna call to the rear guard, Cardinal Fang Rayozia to the rear guard, call Rayozia's skill. I look at the top 3 cards of my deck for a world. Nope, nothing. Send back to deck. Okay, then beginning battle phase. My Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 8k. The attack goes through, drive check. No trigger, okay. And here comes 1 damage. Bam! And my opponent damage checks a... Yes! No trigger! Safe! Now Rayozia attacks the Vanguard, 8k. The attack goes through, nice. And slash! 1 more damage. Damage check. Perfect guard! Nice! No trigger! 1 less card to defend with, so end of turn. My opponent's turn. He rides the Great 2, Black Tears has Dragon, skill, he's adding an order card back to hand, okay. And he calls the Great 2, Spear Trooper and Headhunter, alright. He retires and activates an order card, okay. Vanguard the Vanguard. I'm gonna let the attack go through, no guard, take the hit. And drive check, no trigger, Great 3, okay. And here it comes, ow! Damage check. Ah, my over trigger, come on! So early in the game! I have no counter blast to work with now! Ah, what an awful time to get my over trigger. Whatever, I'm going to ride for my right deck, Cardinal Deus, Cubizia. For the right deck cost, let's see. Okay, I'll hold on to Bubble Mine to counter charge with. I'll hold on to Eclipse Moonlight and Hollowing Moonlit Knight to add to my order zone. I should hold on to Albadert and Thumperino to attack and boost with, and Orfist to Persona right with, so my only options are to discard one of the 3 triggers, so Dekrokop, Barzonde, and Nabulum. I'm going to discard the no skill critical trigger Barbazonde for the right deck cost, riding Cubizia, and now I move Rayozia to the back row. Next up, I'm gonna call Cardinal Draco Albadert to the rear guard. Call. Now I play the set order. I don't have any counter blast to work with, so I can only play Hollowing Moonlit Knight. I set Hollowing Moonlit Knight. I Soul Blast 1 and set and add power. Then I'm going to... Okay, then let's see. I'm going to activate Moonlit Knight skill. I draw a card, drawing a front trigger, okay, and Cubizia skill, adding power. I add power to Alvader. Okay, that should be enough. Going straight to battle phase. My Vanguard Cubizia attacks the Vanguard. 10,000 power. The attack goes through. Drive check. No trigger. Bubble Mind. Okay. And 1 damage. Pierce. Here comes. Damage check. Perfect guard. Nice. No trigger. And another card to defend with out of his deck. Boosted by Rayozia. My Alvader attacks the Vanguard. 25,000 power. Yes, the attack goes through. And slash. And he damage checks a... no, not a heal trigger. Come on. He heals and he's stuck at 3 damage. Okay, that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. He rides his grade 3. Mysterious Rain Spiritualist Zorga. And he activates Zorga's skill. He's going to Superior Call from the drop zone, a Spear Trooper, okay. He's going straight to battle phase, alright. No guard, I need some counter blast, so gonna let the attack go through. He drive checks. No, not a perfect guard. And second check. Critical trigger. What luck, okay. He's giving the critical to Vanguard, power to Spear Trooper, okay. Here comes 2 damage. The flames rain down and out. Damage check first. Perfect guard. No, not good. Second check. Yes, heal trigger. I cannot heal, but I'll give the power to my rear guard Alvader. There we go. Spear Trooper attacks the Vanguard. Better to be safe than sorry. I guess I'll use the heal trigger to guard with. And okay, heal trigger guarded. That should be enough. I'll hold on the rest of my hand. So guard, attack blocked. There we go. And now it's my turn, stand and draw. I'm going to ride for my right deck, Cardinal Deus Orfist. For the right deck cost, let's see. I'm going to... Okay, I got 2 Bauble Mines, a Destajade, a Front Trigger, Decrocop, Moonlit Knight, Thumberino, and Orfist. Okay, I should hold on to Moonlit Knight to play it, so... And I should hold on to Thumberino to call and support, as well as Destajade to attack with, and Orfist to Persona ride with, so... I guess I should hold on to the triggers to defend later, so my only option is to discard one of the 2 copies of Bubble Mine in my hand, discarding 1 Bubble Mine to ride Cardinal Deus Orfist, ride. There we go. Next up, I'm playing Set Order, Eclipse Moonlight, I Counter Blast 1, and adding power. Moonlight skill, I Superior Call a Shadow Army token to the rear guard. I call a Shadow Army token to the right column in the front row over here. There we go. Next up, I'm calling Bubble Mine to the center column and Thumberino to the rear guard over here. That should be enough, okay. And, I'm activating Rayozia's skill, I Soul Blast 1. And retreat my Rayozia. I Superior Call a Shadow Army token to the back row here. Okay, that should be enough. Let's go to the battle phase. First up, my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 26,000 power. The attack goes through, alright. Twin Drive, first check. Critical trigger, just what I needed. I give the critical to my Vanguard. Power to Alvader. Effects added. Okay, and second check. No trigger. And here it comes, 2 damage. He slashes and 2 damage first. No trigger and second check. No trigger, safe. Okay. Now, Bubble Mine skill. I move Bubble Mine from my rear guard into the soul, and I countercharge 1. Now, boosted by Shadow Army token, Overdress attacks the Vanguard, 40,000 power. My opponent double guards, 43, okay. My attack is blocked, then I activate Overdress skill. Wait, I guess there's no point in retiring, he can just superior call his rear guard later on, so... Nah, why not? I'll activate Overdress skill to retire my back row Shadow Army token. To retire 1 rear guard, I retire Spear Trooper. And now, boosted by Thumbarino, Shadow Army token attacks the Vanguard. Thumbarino's skill. Add 15,000 power to herself. A total of 38,000 power. My opponent double guards. 43, okay. The attack does not go through. Then Thumbarino's skill. After boosting and powering up, retire all rear guards in the same column, and I draw a card, a heal trigger. And good enough, I guess. So, my opponent's turn. And he's activating Zorga's skill to superior call from his drop zone. He superior calls Spear Trooper, okay? And calls a Grade 2 Shadow Cloak, revealing the order card Death Inviting Black Magic. Alchemagic. He retires his front row and adding power to Vanguard, okay? Skill of the Grade 3, Superior Call, adding power, okay? Adding critical, oh, not good. Alright, Vanguard to Vanguard. I need more counterblast to work with, so I'm gonna let the attack go through, no guard. Twin drive, first check, no trigger, okay? And the second check. Ah, no, not a heal trigger. He heals back to 4 damage and power to his rear guard. Not good for me. Alright. Here comes 2 damage. The flames rain down again and ow. Damage check first. No trigger. Okay. And 2 damage from this guy. I guess I shouldn't let him give me too much damage. I can block it with only 15,000 shield, so... Alright. I'll just discard the trigger that doesn't have an effect. Nabulum, heal trigger. Guard, 28,000 power. The attack is blocked. Alright, I'm safe. Now it's my turn. I stand and draw. I'm going to Persona Ride. Cardinal Deus, Orfist. There we go. And now I'm playing the set order, Overcoming an Eternity. I Soul Blast 1, 2, set order. Alright, next up I'm calling Cardinal Draco Desijay to the rear guard. Call. And now I activate Orfist's skill. I counterblast 2 and superior call up to 3 Shadow Army tokens. I'm calling the maximum number 1, 2, and 3 to the back row. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Overcoming an Eternity skill. I give 5,000 power to each Shadow Army token that was called. Again, plus 5,000 power. And one more time, plus 5,000 power. Look at all that power. 20,000 power from the back row. Okay. That should be all I can do for time being, so going straight to battle phase. Boosted by Shadow Army token, Orfist attacks the Vanguard, 48,000 power. Keep perfect guards, called it. Okay. He discards a draw trigger, okay. Twin drive, first check. Bubble Mine, no trigger, and second check. No trigger, okay. And attack blocked, alright. Boosted by Shadow Army token, Overdress attacks the Vanguard, 45,000 power. The attack goes through, okay. And slash, 1 damage. Damage check. No, not a heal trigger. He can heal. Alright, now boosted by... Nope, not gonna activate Overdress skill. Boosted by Shadow Army token. My Destajade attacks the Vanguard. The attack goes through, 1 more damage. Blast. Damage check. No trigger, okay. Next, I activate Destajade skill. I retire all 3 of my Shadow Army tokens and restand Destajade for another attack. 25,000 power to the Vanguard. He guards a Spear Trooper, okay. And the attack is blocked. So that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. My opponent activates Zorga skill to Superior Call from the drop zone. What's he gonna call? He calls Roaming Prison Dragon, Vanguard the Vanguard. His rear guards only have 5,000 power, okay. I could use some more counter blasts to work with, so I'll let the attack go through. No guards to hit. He twin drives, first check. No trigger, okay. And second check. No trigger, alright, safe. And here comes 1 damage. The flames rain down again. Raining down and out. Damage check for me. What do I get? No trigger, okay. That's all my opponent can do, so it's my turn. I stand and draw. Okay, I have nothing to Persona right with, so going straight to main phase. Let's try to end this here and now. I activate Orfist skill, Counterblast 2, and Superior Call, 3 Shadow Army tokens to my back row. 1, 2, and 3. Call! 1, 2, and 3 to the back row. Overcoming the Eternity skill. Each Shadow Army token gets plus 5,000 power. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. And that should be all I can do, so going straight to the battle phase. Boosted by Shadow Army token, Orfist attacks the Vanguard, 38,000 power. He perfect guards, that's the last one in his deck. He's discarding. A great one, okay. Quick drive, first check, no trigger. And second check. No trigger, perfect guard, not bad. Alright, the attack is blocked now. Boosted by Shadow Army token, Overdress attacks the Vanguard, 35,000 power. He double guards, 43, okay. And now, boosted by Shadow Army... Nope, not gonna activate Overdress skill. Boosted by Shadow Army token, Destajade attacks the Vanguard, 35,000 power. Yes, the attack goes through. And blast. Boom. Damage check. Phew, draw trigger, you cannot heal, so trigger effects wasted. 6 damage, and I win. Oh, not too bad. The deck worked pretty well. I got to use all the new cards and all the new skills, so I got win, attack 40,000 more power, drew an over trigger, did a Persona ride, 8 turns passed, did a Superior Call, retired 5 or more opposing units, and 1 with 10 or more cards in hand. I got 2350 VP, total 8200 VP, so press A to go next, leaving the fight, returning to fight menu, leaving the fight menu, going back to main menu, and now to edit deck menu. So alright, with that, the deck has been built, Cardfight explained, and I just finished testing out the deck in front of you. And with that, that's just about all the time we have for today. So first off, I want to say thank you to the viewers for watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that, I say goodbye and see you.